Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Dr. Jav. If you can hear me and see me, please drop me a 333 in the chat box and we will make a start very, very soon. Thank you all her. So welcome everyone. Please let me know where you're from, what part of the country are you from the UK, from abroad. We have an amazing call today. Let me know where you are from. We have people here from Birmingham. Welcome. Italy is in the house. Italia. Welcome, Italy. How are you all here? Welcome, welcome. Manchester, Isha. Isha from Manchester, welcome from Manchester. London, as always, we have London in the house. Again, welcome everyone. My name is Dr. Jav. Today we have a jam-packed call. We have Canada in the house as well. Welcome, Canada. I just wonder what the weather's like in Canada. Here in the UK, it's pretty, I wouldn't say cold, but it's pretty cool. So sort of like 3-4 degrees where I am, so it's not too bad, but it's not too warm either. Anyway, welcome to the call. We have an amazing call today. And how many of you on this call were on the presentation over the weekend, the conference we had on the weekend, the virtual event with David Imanitier? How many of you were on that event? Let me know via the chat box. Okay, brilliant. We've had a couple of people that were on there. Isha, brilliant. Now that was an amazing call. And to be honest, I would not have missed that for anything. I was going to pay in the region of £3,000 to go to the USA, including flight and hotels and so forth, to go to that event. However, because of the current pandemic, I couldn't obviously go, and henceforth we had the live stream. So if you missed that, well, you've missed an amazing thing. We won't have anything like that again for another I think it's 6 or so months now. But again, that was an amazing call. And if you haven't booked onto the next event, Mandeep's from Leicester, welcome. The next event of that nature, of that caliber, will be in Orlando, Florida in July. And who's going to that? Who has booked on to the Orlando event in July? Isha, brilliant. Amazing. So we have Isha who's going to that. Obviously myself, I'll be there, Mandeep, and we've got a fair few others as well. Now the event in Orlando is going to be life-changing. The one on the weekend just gone was life-changing for many, many people. Amazing nuggets were dropped. But the one in Orlando, I just cannot let you know how important that is going to be for you, for your life, for your family, for your health, and so on, because these events are absolutely amazing and they do change your life. And also when you leave your existing comfort zone, leave your city, leave your country to go and learn in another place, foreign town, foreign country, amazing things happen. So I've been to Florida several times, absolutely love it, love the climate. Yes, Isha, get your sun cream ready. We'll all be there. Anyway, back to this call. Today, what we want to discuss are, our learnings from that event. And like I said earlier, I hope you took a lot of notes, because a lot of the stuff that was talked about on that call was life-changing. And again, many, many people that went to that call have told me that they've learned absolutely loads from that presentation. Now, what I want to do today is talk about the 10 life-changing lessons that I learned from my multi-millionaire mentor just, gone the weekend. And just bear with me, I'm going to try and put my chat box at the same time so I can answer any questions as we go along. So yeah, it was an amazing event. I'm going to talk about 10 things, 10 life-changing lessons from my multi-millionaire mentor. And also, if you have comments as we go along, please do shout out, because I'd like to know what you felt, and also how things have changed for you following that event. Now, with any event, any life-changing moment, it doesn't mean anything unless you take action. So the event was absolutely awesome, and like I said, I took copious notes, and also I am taking action on those notes as well. So please do ensure that if you attended that event, that the notes you've taken, you've gone away and started to take action from those notes. Because obviously, if you just take the notes and put them away in a drawer somewhere, it's not going to make a difference. So what I want to talk about today are my 10 life-changing moments. Now, the most important, or the first thing that was mentioned at the event was that, in the beginning was the word. Now that is so, so important. In the beginning was the word. The word, I think he said, was with God, and the word was God. So whatever you say every single day, it's so important. Now, certainly in my case, I have a tendency, to joke and put a bit of humor into things now and again, but it's very, very important to ensure that you know what your end goal is, and that whatever you say is moving you closer towards that goal. So the environment that you keep, the words that you say are so, so powerful. And please, certainly, a bit of self-management here. Try and watch what you are saying, not to just to yourself, but to other people every single day. And you have to make sure that you are moving towards your goal every single day with the words that you utter. So again, in the beginning was the word, obviously with God, he said be, and it was, and let there be light, and there was light. So very, very important, very, very powerful. Everything goes down to what you are saying, what you are thinking, what you are hearing, and I'll come on to that later on during this presentation. But basically, again, I've said this many times on many calls. A lot of it is the basic information that people are missing. A lot of people get hung up on the skills, and obviously it's very, very easy to do. I was of that type, and at university I spent 8 years or so at university just learning skill. In my first job out of university, it was purely skill, and although I hated my job, what I learned from that first job was that I did not want to work for anyone ever again. And now the element that was missing on my life was that I did not understand the importance at that point of personal development. And the reason for that was that was never really introduced to me. Obviously, I got very, very good degrees, worked at very, very amazing companies around the world, but nonetheless, it wasn't for me. And the reason for that was because I was not personally developed. I was passing over opportunities repeatedly over and over again. I did not know what an opportunity was. So in the beginning was the word, be extremely careful what you say to yourself, what you say to other people. Every single thing that you say to other people, to yourself, needs to be in tune with your goal. You need to be in tune with your goal, what you are hoping to achieve. Otherwise, you will not get there. Very important. The second thing that we talked about was the self-confidence formula. Now, how many of you actually know what the self-confidence formula is? How many of you on this call have heard of the self-confidence formula? Okay, we have a couple. Now, I'm not going to read out the entire self-confidence formula, but I do have my self-confidence formula here. It's actually printed out, and I read it every single day, and it's very, very important that you familiarize yourself with the self-confidence formula. If you don't have a copy, go online, search it out, and print it. In our group, in our WhatsApp group, we have the self-confidence formula in there. Go to it and print it out. The self-confidence formula was created by a guy called Napoleon Hill. And if you have not read this book, if you don't have this book yet, please get yourself a copy of this. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Okay, the important word in that title is think. Okay, it's not work and grow rich, it's think and grow rich, because the spiritual side, as I'll talk about later during this presentation, is 90% of everything. So the self-confidence formula, which I have in front of me here, is absolutely amazing, and you need to make sure that you are reading it every single day. And you talked about the definition of perception, and perception is basically the ability to see, hear, or become aware of something through the senses. And again, I'll talk about the senses later on. Very, very important, what you see and what you hear every day. You need to develop a filter inside your head whereby you only hear what you need to hear. Don't listen to the no-go or people that push you in the opposite direction, the naysayers, people that are perhaps not in tune with your goals and desires. Do not listen to them. This may mean in the short term that you remove yourself from your family and friends, because this goal that you're headed towards is so, so important. So the self-confidence formula is just 5 statements that you need to read to yourself every single day, and make sure that you adhere to them, because it's an important formula. And in all honesty, I was not introduced to the self-confidence formula for a very, very long time. In fact, it's just been like 2 or 3 months that I was aware of it, and since then I've been reading it every single day. So very, very important. Get yourself a copy of it. Go online, do a Google search on self-confidence formula, print it out, and read it every single day. Your thoughts are come to you from 3 elements. So we've got God, the enemy, and your 5 senses. 5 senses, again, very, very important. Now, obviously, we have the enemy. I mean, this could be the naysayers, people that are not in tune with where you are headed, which is, again, the reason why you should remove yourself from people, from ideas, from thoughts that will not help you to achieve your goal. Now, the five senses. Does anybody know what the five senses are? A very, very easy question. What are your five senses? So whatever you are seeing, whatever you're touching, whatever you are hearing, whatever you are tasting, these all form part of your five senses. And again, you need to be able to use your five senses so that you are able to hit your goal quicker. Okay. Now, the principle of auto-suggestion was also mentioned in the self-confidence formula. Not going to talk about it right now, but again, when it comes on to your thoughts, which come to you from God, from the enemy, from your five senses, again, it's so, so important that you have your goal in front of you every single day. Now, again, when it comes to your goal, it has to be in the format of I am so happy and grateful. Again, this actually forms your mission statement. My question to every single person on this call is, have you got your mission statement? Do you know what your goal is? If you don't, you may as well just stop this, this video, go away and write down your goal. That's how important your goal is. What is your mission statement? I am so happy and grateful now that I earn £1 million a month is a fairly good mission statement to have. I am so happy and grateful now that I earn £1 million a month. Every single one of you should know what your mission statement is. This is extremely important. If you don't know what it is, sit down and try and understand where you are headed. You need to know your goals, and your mission statement needs to form, obviously, your goal. Auto-suggestion is a very, very important element of the self-confidence formula, which I have in front of me. And again, when it comes to auto-suggestion, it basically means, what are you automatically suggesting to yourself? Your goals need to be as automatic as breathing for you. Now, obviously, luckily, I'm so happy and grateful that I'm breathing every single day. Or your auto-suggestion, your dominating thoughts should be as important to you as breathing is. Now, when it comes to understanding your goal, once you have acquired an understanding of where you are headed, you need to get into the affirmations, which I've talked about many, many times on many, many calls. I am so happy and grateful now that I earn £1 million a month. What affirmations do you have? What are you saying to yourself every single day? Has to be automatic. And when you say things to yourself over and over again, what you'll find is that you'll be saying it in your sleep. When you wake up, you need to become obsessed by your goal. Just like you know your name. If someone shouted out your name in a crowd of people, with a lot of ambient noise, your ears would perk up and you would hear your name. The same should apply to your goal. It has to be top of mind always. What are you saying to yourself? What are your auto-suggestions? What are your dominating thoughts? It has to be your goal, because if your goal is big, and obviously your goal has to be big because that's why you're here. If your goal is big, it will take time, dedication, work, mental effort, and also obviously the physical effort for you to hit that goal and to make it a quick, I wouldn't say easy, but a seamless process, as seamless a process as possible for you. Your goal has to be top of mind, and it has to be your dominating thought. Going back to the word, in the beginning was the word. You need to always say the right things. Get into the habit of only saying the right things. Don't talk negative to yourself. If you're building a business and things aren't working for you, if you say to yourself, I'm struggling, things aren't working for me, that will be the case for you. You need to look at the reverse side of the coin and say to yourself, things are working for me. My business is growing. My trading account is massive. It's growing every single day. My bank account is growing every single day. Whatever you say to yourself will become reality. Always say the right things. And sometimes, I might not always say the right things, but definitely it's so, so important that you're saying the right things to yourself and to other people every single day. You need to be living as if you have already achieved your goal. Your auto-suggestion suggestions have to be in place, and your dominating thoughts have to be aligned with your goal. For you to achieve a massive goal, your dominating thoughts have to be aligned with your goal or goals. Again, extremely important for you to know that. Become people free. You need to become people free. Other people's opinions are irrelevant. You've started a new business, you're doing fairly well, and someone will come up to you and say, do you know what, I think your business is a scam. It doesn't work. And you'll take that on board and think about it. If someone comes to you and says to you, I've known you all my life, you're just not, you're not cut out for this business. It's not going to happen. You will take that on board. What you need to do, you need to become people free, and you need to remove those people from your life. I don't care if it's your family or close friends, whoever they are, you need to remove them from your life and focus on your goal, because your goal is so, so important. That is your dominating thought, and that is the most important thing to you and for you. If you look at the top sports stars like Tiger Woods, Michael Jordan, just to name a couple, Maradona, their focus was always on their sport. They were the best people around in football, basketball, and golf. And because those were their dominating thoughts, because that was what they were thinking about all the time, they became the best at their game. If you want to become the best at your game, you need to become people free. You need to ignore the naysayers, ignore the negative comments that you will get in this business. This can be from friends, family, even people within the business itself, from colleagues as well sometimes. And also you need to develop love for all humanity. Again, something that's mentioned in the self-confidence formula. Number 8, the success formula and the success balance. Does anybody know what the success formula is? I have written it down somewhere. Now, the success formula is basically desire plus skills times faith equals success. If you don't know what it is, write it down. Desire plus skills times faith is success. So you need the desire to make it happen, the belief to make it happen. You have to have the skills, or you need to be able to develop the skills to make your goal occur. And of course, you need faith as well, because without faith, you are lost. Faith is very, very important. You need it to succeed in anything that you set out to do. Now, when it comes to the success balance, again, if you don't know what it is, I'll just map it out for you. There are two sides to the success balance, hence the word balance. You've got the spiritual side and the physical side. Does anybody know which one's more important? Is the spiritual side more important or the physical side? Okay, yes. The spiritual side is 90 to 99% of success. I'll say that again. The spiritual side is 90 to 99% success. So if you want to become, let's say, a very, very good trader, if you're not there spiritually, you won't make it happen. It's not going to happen for you. If you want to start a new business, selling apples, doesn't matter what the business is, if the spiritual side is not there, it's not going to happen. If you want to start a car garage, you could be the most skilled person in the world. If the spiritual side is not there, it won't happen. Your thoughts, your thinking, the words. In the beginning was the word. Words very important. Visualization. Are you visualizing the end result? Your feeling, faith, and desire all form part of the spiritual side of the success balance. 90 to 99% is covered in those elements. The remaining 1 to 10% is physical. Leadership, work, techniques, action, strategies. These form the remainder of the 10%. Get the spiritual side covered and the 10% will come to you naturally. That's how important spiritual is. That's why most of our calls focus on mindset and the spiritual elements of this business, because we know, having been in business for all these years, we know that once you've got that covered, the skill will come naturally to you. Number 9 is communications. Again, communications is hugely, hugely important. It's not just your communication with other people, it's also very, very importantly with yourself. What are you telling yourself every day? Are you saying to yourself, I've got this, I can do this? Or are you saying, it's a bit hard, the business isn't going so well, I'm losing on my trades? Because whatever you say will happen. In the beginning was the word. I'll come back to that over and over again. Communication with others, communications with yourself are hugely important for you to be successful, not just in this business, in this opportunity, but any other opportunity that you decide to take on in the future. So communications is key. This is a people's business. You need to start understanding people, other people's traits and their colors. So we have reds, we have blues, we have yellows, we have greens. Reds are aggressive, blues want to have fun, yellows are caring and nurturing, and greens tend to be analytical. Once you understand the kind of person you're speaking to, chances are the communication between you both will be very, very good, and also you'll want to work with each other. So please get communications covered, understand the people you're working with, develop rapport, listen, use your ears more than your mouth, and amazing things will happen in your business. Last but not least is leadership. You have to develop a pleasing personality, and you have to lead from the front. People will do what you do and not what you say. Lead from the front. When it comes to this business, when you're promoting, for example, calls and meetings, you need to be doing that every single day. Your team, your family needs to see you doing that. They don't just want to hear you doing it. That is why we have so many WhatsApp groups. That is why we use Telegram. We use all these chats as a forum for you to get out there, for your people, your team, your family, for all of us to see what you are doing, because what you'll find is that your team, your family will do what you are doing, not necessarily what you are saying. They want to see activity from you. If they don't see anything from you, they will assume that you are not doing anything. Leadership is so, so important. Lead from the front. That is all I wanted to say on my 10 life-changing lessons from my millionaire mentor. I hope you learned something from that short presentation. But what I want to do now is I want to bring on a good friend of mine, a very, very close friend of mine, colleague of mine, and I'm sure you all want to hear from her on what she learned from this meeting as well. So just bear with me as I find her. Just give me a few seconds. B, are you on the call?
Yes, Dr. Jav, I'm on. How are you?
B, I'm doing awesome. How are you?
I'm feeling fantastic. I'm feeling amazing. Apart from the cold, I'm great.
Okay, so I know you've got a 7 o'clock call, B, so that's why I sort of shortened my call a little bit to get you on early. You were on the conference over the weekend. Now, that was life-changing for me. How was it for you?
Oh my God, Dr. Jav, it was amazing. But after the call, I felt so energized. Honestly, I've never felt that, that energy from somebody speaking to me from a distance that much. I was so full of energy, and I was so nourished with a lot of information. But what I took, because obviously it was everything he said made sense. But there's one thing that really stood out for me, and was the act of forgiveness. He talked about how important it is to forgive somebody. And to me, that was one of the things that I took away. I would normally, as a Christian, I'm very good in forgiving people, but the way he emphasized it and the way he put it into context, that for you to move forward, for you to clear, the way for you to achieve your goals, you need to forgive those people. Even for things that you haven't done, you didn't ask them to forgive the things that you failed to do, even as simple things as that. That was the kind of thing that he emphasized on. So that was really, really good to me. So that's what I really took out of it. So yes, it was quite an amazing training, and I really loved it, and I enjoyed every bit of it.
No, it was amazing to have you on that call, B. Obviously, forgiveness is such an important element, and people, tend to forget about it. Forgiving others and also forgiving yourself as well. Yeah. Very, very important, B. So I'm glad you enjoyed it. Any other, points that you learned from that meeting, that presentation that stick to mind? Anything else that you liked?
Yeah, it was also the fact that you emphasized the fact of writing your goals, making sure you write them, you paste them everywhere. So obviously, if you can see them, you can feel it, and obviously that's going to materialize into real action. So it was the fact that he was emphasizing throughout the presentation. He was emphasizing on that, how important it is for us as well to write down our goals, take notes, and all those stuff things. Things that we're already doing, but the fact that he really emphasized it, it really stuck in my mind. And I'm thinking, if he's saying that at that level of his success, that he's doing it, Who am I? I'm not anywhere near him. And he is doing it. So I should be copying, I should be doing it as well. So that's another thing that really stood out for me.
B, thank you for that. That was absolutely amazing. It was great to have you on the call. And
Thanks,
also,
Dr.
I
Jav.
will see you in Florida, in Orlando, in
Oh,
July.
yeah. As he says, so
Yeah.
we just need some sun cream. We just need to get some
Yeah.
sun cream packed up now. Yeah. Isn't
So
it?
get your sun cream ready. We're going to Orlando. And again, we'll have our own team meetings there as well. It's going to be an amazing experience.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Florida's
away would be an away team meeting. How amazing would that be?
Yes, we'll also, have a great time there. It's a beautiful place. I'm sure I've been there before, but absolutely lovely. So I'll see you there. And also, I know you've got to rush off for this call now. But again, B, thanks for coming on board, and we'll chat again very, very soon.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Jav. Thank you, guys. See you soon. Thank you.
See you soon, B. Now, who I want to bring on next? I mean, we all know this person, lover, and based in a beautiful place in the East Midlands. Mandy, are you on the call?
Yes, Dr. Jav, I'm here. How are you doing?
I am doing awesome. I see you got your scarf out again. Must have been.
Oh my God, it's really cold. So I'm always like just wrapped up all the time, even in the house, got the heating on full blast and it's all crazy, but we love it. So yeah, it's good to see everyone here. I think Dr. Jav, we need to give him some 777s and some fire emojis for that presentation. We also need to thank B as well. What exciting times. And by the way, we have these team calls every single Monday, 6 o'clock UK time. So definitely plug in. We tend to mix it up every week. Some of it will be based on a bit of trading. Some of it will be based on mindset. Some of it will be based on, building your organization. But for me, wow, it was a picture, on Saturday, everybody in our family, we actually sat down together and we watched David's live virtual event. And it brought a tear to my eye because we were actually supposed to be in Texas. We were supposed to be in Texas, enjoying the virtual event, enjoying the event live. But obviously, we weren't able to make it. So what we did is we decided to all sit down together as a family and actually watch the virtual event. And it was so powerful. And I definitely urge you, if you're someone thinking, oh, I missed out, and what is this all about, and can I get in? I would say go book your ticket for Orlando. Go and book it because this is going to be a life-changing event. I mean, you're not going to believe this. If I've got my book in front of me right here, I'm going to show you right now. This book I filled up and I've actually got 25 pages worth of notes, would you believe, from that event. 25 pages of notes, literally from David's event. Just him sharing about his journey, about God, about the 5 senses, being patient, forgiveness, all these things. I was literally writing. Give me more information. And I think one of the biggest things that stood out for me, there was 2 things actually. Number 1 was the patience side of things. The patience side of things. And he gave a very good example. I think Hot Pockets are a very famous sort of, I think it's like a mini burger or sandwich or something in the US. So he used that as an example. But he said that there's a difference between wanting things quickly and, letting things take their course and their time. So think about the difference between fast food, where you get your McDonald's burger instantly, and think about the difference between that and a 5-course meal. Which is going to taste better? Which is going to taste longer? So the key thing that he was saying was that a lot of the times we become frustrated on our journeys, whether it's trading, growing an account, whether it's building our businesses, and we think, why is this not happening sooner? I want this now. Why is it not happening now? And what we've got to appreciate is that when we look at things from our perspective, from a human perspective, of course, we're going to feel impatient because we're human at the end of the day. But what he was saying was, look at your journey from a spiritual side of things. Look through God's eyes. Look through your spirit man or woman eyes. And then time is not an issue. You will never worry about time because you know that things are going to happen. When we look at things from man's point of view, from our point of view, things take time. We want to rush things. We want microwave success. We want to put success in a microwave and pop it back out. But what he was saying was that time is of no effect in the world of God. It doesn't matter about that. Now, not to get religious or anything, but I'm just trying to explain. For David, it took him 16 years to get to the point of success where he is today. It took him 16 years to get to the level that he is. And after 6 hours, 6 weeks, 6 months, we're like, why is this not happening? Come on. Why is the team not moving? Why is this person not doing anything? Why is that person not doing anything? Why is my trading not going right? And again, it all comes down to how we're feeling and what we're feeding our mind all the time. So patience is a very, very crucial thing. And this actually brings me on to my next point, which is about auto-suggestion. And I thought this was brilliant the way he explained it. Auto-suggestion, when something happens, or whether it doesn't happen every day, what are you suggesting to yourself automatically? So say if it's Monday morning, you wake up, maybe the markets aren't that good. Maybe you ended last week on a minus in your trading. Maybe someone came in your business and left the next day, whatever it was. But what are you automatically suggesting? You see, the key thing is that our confession is our goal. So we can't waver from that goal. Whatever happens, good or bad, our confession does not change. But see, what happens with a lot of people is that we look at a situation, we get frustrated, and then the confession changes. We automatically suggest to ourselves that this can't happen. I'm not capable. I'm not worthy. And so what he was saying was use your 5 senses and put up signs everywhere. I'm going to show you a couple of my signs in just a second, but put them up everywhere so you can see them. So for me, one of my signs, if I just show you right here, in one of my books, this is the sign. Get a bill, or I'm talking American language now. Get a note, get a note from your country, because I know there's people from different countries here, and put on the amount of money that you want to be earning a year. Now this is absolutely amazing because this is getting close. Okay, so this for me is a biggie, right? This one is a biggie. This is amazing. This is something that I wanted to do, so I literally wrote down with a marker what I wanted to see, and I laminated it, and now I use it as a bookmark. So whenever I'm reading, because I love to read, I love devouring books, whenever I'm reading, I can see that. Okay, the next sign is over here. So I printed off a photo. This is what I'm making. Another sign. Let me talk to you about another sign, my goal. So this is my goal that I made. If I actually stop my share, you'll see a picture of that. But that is basically my goal for this year. So I basically printed it out, okay, and I put it in a frame. So every time I'm at my desk, I can see it. What's another sign? Let me show you another sign on my phone. So every time I click on and off my phone, whether I'm opening up my trades or looking at my messages, I can see my goal in front of me. I'm automatically suggesting to myself what I want to see. It's very easy when people, come and go in our business, or if our trading doesn't go right and we think, oh, this didn't happen, that didn't happen. But David Imanitier, our amazing mentor, was saying, just ensure that your confession stays the same. Be the person that inspires your team to do these things. Now, for those of you on the call, David said, print out your goal 20 times. Who did that? I actually did that. I printed out my goal 20 times. I don't particularly want to, do we have a, I don't know if we have another flyer of this. Okay, no, it's fine. But basically, it's literally this goal here that we printed out and put it 20 times around the house. 20 times around the house, the kitchen, the bathroom, the bedroom, the fridge, the cupboard when we open in the morning, when we open it for cereal, every place where we look very regularly, every time we open the cereal cupboard, now it's like, oh yeah, 50K, oh yeah, 100K, oh yeah, 10K. So we're constantly feeding our mind. What do your signs look like? If I was to say, right, Dan, put your video on, show me around your house, or Isha, or Elsa, or Karen, or Simone, or Samira, if I said, put your video on right now, I'm going to spotlight your video, show us your house, would it be plastered with your goals? So this is the key thing. You consistently want to feed your mind. So those were the 2 takeaways from me. Patience, number 1, be patient in your journey and allow it to happen. And point number 2, auto-suggestion. Have your goals printed everywhere. Right now, people might look at you insane thinking, oh, you're nowhere near that. Can you really do that? Is it really possible? But remember, they're seeing things from their physical eyes, not their spiritual eyes. So always ensure that you're top of your game, print out the signs, be patient, keep going, and I'll see you at the top. Dr. Jav, back over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Mandy. That was absolutely awesome. Can we have some 777s fire emojis and whatever else, for just not just for Mandeep, but also for B as well. So yeah, amazing, Mandeep. So obviously, when Devin Imniti said, print your goal 20 times, I did that straight away, and I actually cut them out and put them around the house during that presentation. So again, if you haven't done that, please do so. And also, like Mandeep said, just make sure that you, wherever you go, whether it's the fridge, your kitchen cupboards, your bedroom, you see your goal. I've got my goal in my car as well. Just one place I don't recommend you put your goal is inside your oven. So you don't want to be baking a cake and have your goal burn in front of you. So otherwise, yeah, put your goal everywhere you like. Now, the third person I want to bring on is a young lady in the north of the UK, and she is absolutely amazing. She's currently on fire. Doing very, very well. And she was also on the presentation, the webinar, the seminar over the weekend. And yeah, I mean, what can I say? Her name's Isha. Let me just see if Isha is on the call, and I will unmute you, Isha, and we'll have you on very, very shortly. So again, Isha is amazing. She's in the north of England and doing really, really well, and very, very teachable and coachable, which is why she's doing awesome. So Isha, are you on the call?
Yeah, hi.
Hi, Isha. How are you up north?
It's good here. Yeah, not much from where you guys are.
Brilliant. So welcome to the call. You were on the virtual webinar over the weekend.
Yeah.
Give me a couple of things you learned that you want to talk about, perhaps, and how did you feel during and after the event?
Yeah, I mean, as soon as, I joined, honestly, it was the best thing ever, the best thing I've ever experienced. That £70 really went a long way. And at the start, I was like, oh, it's £70. Like, you can buy something else with that. Like, a lot of people probably think you can buy a pair of shoes, but honestly, this is the best investment I made. And I'm going to continue, booking events, spending as much money as I possibly can on these events, because the best investment you can make is on your mindset. And I just, realized that after coming to this event, and, straight after, I've already booked the Orlando one, because, it was really life-changing. And I can't, say this enough about how much it has helped me since I, went to that event, actually listened to that event. The game totally changed for me. Now I'm seeing, so much growth and so much development, not only in myself, but in my business, in my team. And I don't usually make notes, but, this was one call where I thought, you know what, I'm going to take this seriously. And I actually made pages and pages of notes, everything that David said, really took on board, because I thought, you know what, I'm not where I want to be in life, but David is someone that has the results that I want. So I'm going to need to, actually get out of where I am and start listening to people who have the results I want if I want to make a change. And so ever since I started applying everything he's doing, I know it's only been one day, but things have started to get so much more better. Now, I've actually wrote down a few key points that I did want to mention to you guys. One of them being, David said something that really stuck with me. And he said something like, there's a person that you need to become in order for you to handle what it is that is coming for you. So what that really means is that, you might not be on the rank that you want to be, but in order for you to get there, there's a period of growth that you need to go through in order for you to get there. Because if, someone gave, $1 million to you, would you be able to handle it? And the likelihood is, if someone gave me $1 million, I'd probably end up spending it all. So, that period of growth and development that I need to go through is something that will really, help me once I get to that level. And obviously, you just need to enjoy the process. It might be hard, at the beginning when, things might not be going right. But if you have that right mindset, just cut out all the negativity and just really enjoy what you're doing, it's not going to seem like a chore to you. It's going to seem fun. Every time, something might happen in the business, it's not going to affect you at all. And another thing that really stuck with me was being people free, not viewing people as sources, more like they're resources. And so the more you give to people, the more that they will be rewarded, the more you will be rewarded, And also the final thing is, controlling your negative emotions as well. I wrote something here about, so your negative attitudes towards others can never bring you success, and you really need to develop love for everyone and develop a, you know, massive passion for working with people, because, you know, this is a people's business, and the only thing that is going to get you moving forward is if you have that, you know, that willingness and that drive to really work with people and want the best for each and every one of them. So that was my whole experience, and honestly it was the best experience I could possibly have, you know, been to. So, you know, I'm looking forward to the next events, and thank you for having me on.
Isha, that was absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. And certainly, I remember when I was your age, I was at university, just messing about. So that was me at your age. But again, Isha, thank you so much for that. And Isha is joining us in Florida as well. And in all honesty, if you haven't booked your ticket, do so straight away, because that price will treble, if it hasn't done so already, very, very soon. And I make no money out of this event. I want every single person on this call to do absolutely amazing and go to the next level, and that event will help you there. And again, the dates for that haven't come out yet, but it will be in July sometime. So again, thank you all for coming on this call. Thank you for your comments in the chat box. And thank you, Mandy. Thank you, Isha. Thank you, B, for your feedback as well. It's been an amazing call, and I'll see you all on Wednesday. We have our guest presentation on Wednesday, and also I will see you again next week as well. So onwards and upwards, amazing things are going to happen this year. In fact, amazing things are already happening this year. This year is our year. This is your year of abundance and prosperity. Keep your head held high, and ensure that your goal is top of mind always, and you will do it. Thank you. God bless. And I'll see you very, very soon.